Hey Arctic Warriors, what's up? Arctic Phoenix here. It's that time of year again. March Madness predictions. Auburn versus we're picking Auburn. Louisville versus Crane? Yeah, see here. My stats right here, they're showing that there is leaning more toward Louisville, and that's why I'm picking Louisville. Michigan, San Diego. Well, the numbers do favor Michigan and San Diego here, but I don't see this as a 12-5 here. I'm picking Michigan. A&M versus Yale. I'm picking A&M. Ole Miss versus San Diego State or North Carolina. I have North Carolina beating the Aztecs, and I'm going to have them beating Ole Miss. In Iowa State versus Lipscomb, I am going with Iowa State. Okay, Marquette versus New Mexico. I'm going to check something here quick. I don't know. No, whatever. I like Marquette, but I'm going with I'm going with Marquette here. Michigan State versus Bryant. Michigan State. Nothing too crazy in this. West Bracket, Virginia, Norfolk State. Not even a look here. Florida. UConn versus Oklahoma. We're going with UConn. Memphis, Colorado State. Okay, here's my first upset pick. Colorado State over Memphis. Maryland versus Grand Canyon. This is an interesting matchup, but I'm going with Maryland here. Missouri versus Drake. We're going with Drake with the upset pick. USC versus Texas Tech versus USC Wilmington. We're going with Texas Tech here. Oh, jeez, let's restart this thing. I don't know why they're not showing. Kansas, Arkansas. I'm going Arkansas here. St. John versus Omaha! Omaha! We're going with St. John's. Duke versus... We're going Duke. Mississippi State or Baylor. I'm going to go with Baylor. Okay, Oregon versus Liberty. Oh, I don't know here. Based on the numbers, I'm going with Liberty. Liberty with the upset here. Arizona versus Akron. Man, I am gonna. Know something? I'm going with the upset here. I'm going with Akron. BYU versus VCU. VCU. Let's look at the numbers quick. My suggested pick would be BYU, but VCU is one of my underdogs. Wisconsin, Montana. Wisconsin. St. Mary's versus Vanderbilt. This is a very interesting pick for me. Vanderbilt's a good team, but St. Mary's, I don't know. St. Mary's is one of my picks to go for, and I'm sticking with them. I'm going St. Mary's. Alabama versus Robert Morris. Let's look at the pick here. I don't know. I want to pick Robert Morris, but I'm picking Bama here. No. Houston versus Houston. Zaga versus Georgia. This is going to be an interesting 8-9 matchup here, but I am going with Zaga. Clemson versus McNeese. I mean, based on the numbers, I should be picking McNeese. And I'll be honest, I'm actually going to be picking Clemson here. Purdue versus High Point. This is going to be an upset here. We're going High Point. High Point upset. Illinois versus Texas Xavier. Well, I won't worry. I'm going Illinois. Kentucky versus Troy. We are going with, let's look at the numbers here. I'm going Kentucky. UCLA versus Utah State. I'm going to look in stats here. I'm going Utah State. Tennessee versus Wofford. Oh, yeah, we're going Tennessee. Auburn versus Louisville. I'm going Auburn. Michigan versus A&M. I'm going Michigan. North Carolina versus Iowa State. I like Iowa State, but I'm not too confident, and I'm going with North Carolina. Marquette, Michigan State. Michigan State. Florida versus UConn. Let's look at the numbers here. It should be a good matchup, but we're going with Florida. No 3P for UConn. Colorado State, Maryland. We're gonna go with Maryland here. Drake versus Texas Tech. Let's look at the numbers here. I don't know why they don't show it here, but we're going Drake. Arkansas, St. John's. St. John's. Duke versus Baylor. We're going with Duke on this one. Liberty versus Akron. We're going with Liberty. VCU versus Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin, but I'm going with VCU on this one. St. Mary's versus Alabama. I'm going with St. Mary's here. Houston versus Zaga. Zaga usually does very well in March Madness, but Houston's a really good defensive team. Suggesting I pick. I am going with Houston on this one. High Point versus Clemson. I'm going to go with High Point. Illinois, Kentucky. I'm going with Kentucky. Utah State versus Tennessee. I am going to go with Tennessee. Auburn versus Michigan. I'm going with Michigan. North Carolina, Michigan State. I'm going Michigan State. Florida versus Maryland. Florida. Drake versus St. John's. I'm going St. John's. Duke versus Liberty. Duke. Ooh, Liberty's my suggested pick, though. So, VCU, St. Mary's. I'm going VCU. Houston, High Point. I'm going Houston. Kentucky, Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee. Michigan, Michigan State. Michigan State. Florida, St. John's. Florida. Duke, VCU. Hate to say I'm going Duke. Houston, Tennessee. Houston. Michigan State, Florida. This is going to be a very tough pick for me. This is a very tough pick for me. I mean, Florida is my ideal pick. But this is going to be very close. But I am going with Michigan State. Duke, Houston, Duke, Michigan State, Duke. And my pick for the 2025 National Championship at the Alamo Dome, Duke. Final score 73-67, and the Duke Blue Devils are my pick to win the 2025 National Championship. Finish bracket, and that is my final answer. Thank you. Have a nice day. Peace.